Hi everybody, it's me, Kim Forrester, back here with another little bite-sized thrive, helping us all take small steps to enhance our well-being from the inside out. Today I wanted to talk specifically about how to deal with ongoing disappointment. And what I mean by ongoing disappointment, we all have times in our lives where life doesn't work out the way that we hope it will, or that people, act contrary to how we think they are going to, and we end up with that sense of disappointment. Now, it's really important, first of all, to understand that disappointment is an inevitable part of life, and it is important for us to accept it when it happens and to go through and process that emotion. Try not to sort of, suppress it or ignore it. Absolutely, life can be disappointing sometimes. I want to talk about those times where we've come across a disappointment, where we've had an experience where the disappointment lingers, where our sense of resentment or our anger at the unfairness of a situation, our disappointment in a person or in a situation is so strong that we tend to wallow in it and we can't let it go. Over the past few years, we've all had various reasons to be feeling a little low at the moment. Life has been really tough for most of us on the planet. And because of that, our well-being is actually taking a hit at the moment, right? Our stress levels will be up, our emotional state is probably going to be quite low and negative generally. So it is really important, particularly now, not only that we take care of one another and we have compassion and care for one another, but that we also take care and have compassion for ourselves, and that we lean into positivity as often as we can so we can begin that positive upward spiral, right, back towards happiness, contentment, clear thinking, great decision making. So I want to share with you a little practice that I use when I find myself lingering in a sense of disappointment. And it goes like this. What is disappointment? Well, disappointment is when life turns out different to the way we have anticipated or expected it to be, right? We don't get disappointed if life turns out exactly how we've kind of planned or how we've hoped for it to be. We only feel that sense of disappointment, resentment, sadness when we have expected or planned for life to work out a particular way, when we've expected or planned for a person to behave in a particular way, and life brings us something contrary to that expectation. So here's what I do when I find that I can't shake a sense of disappointment. I reframe the entire experience and put the power back in myself to change how I feel. When we expect things from life and they don't work out the way that we plan, it can be really, really easy for us to sort of go, do you know what? My expectations were right all along, and it is actually life that is wrong. I want you to stop and just think about that for a while, about something that you've been disappointed about or you are disappointed about now. Somewhere along the line, you've had an expectation or a hope or an anticipation, and because we all do, but you've claimed that expectation and you've sort of made that the baseline for how life should be. Then, of course, life has unfolded and people have behaved in certain ways, or situations have unfurled in certain ways, and it is different to what you anticipated or expected. So we go, oh, our expectation was right, life is wrong. When we're sitting in that sense of disappointment for too long, we're actually taking the power out of ourselves to change anything, because we don't have any control over how other people behave, and we certainly have very, very, very little control over sort of the mechanisms of life out there, right, and the environment around us. So when we make life wrong, we sit in victimhood. We go, my expectation was right, life brought me something different, life is wrong, and here I sit feeling disappointed, resentful, sad, and wishing that it had been another way. So is there anything wrong with that outlook? Possibly not, but it's just not helpful for you, because when you take the control away from yourself, you leave yourself without any way to change the way you feel about the situation. So little practice that I use, you might find this helpful as well. When I linger in disappointment, I change my perspective and I change it so that life is going to work out inevitably how it is going to work out, right? So the ingredients of life, whether they are, the behavior of a certain person or their emotional state or, their mental capacities, coupled with certain elements in the environment and situations unfolding, I sit and I say, do you know what? Maybe that outcome was inevitable. Maybe life and the outcome that I am disappointed about, maybe that was always going to happen that way, given all of the ingredients, given all the elements that combined to bring about that situation. That was always going to happen. So what is wrong, and I use the word wrong, very loosely here, but what is misaligned in the situation then is my own expectation. If I accept that the situation that has happened was always going to happen, is inevitable because of the ingredients of all the different elements, then the only thing that was misaligned, the only thing that was wrong was my own previous expectation of what that situation was going to turn out like. By doing so, and I promise you this is really powerful for me, when I choose to do that, I go, okay, I now have the power to change my expectation. I can't go back in time and change how I expected it to be in the beginning, but I can certainly change my expectation now, knowing, all of the elements and knowing all the behaviors involved with that particular experience. I can change my anticipation, my expectation about what should happen. So I'm not sure I'm framing this right. I'm not sure I'm articulating this well. What I'm saying is if you are lingering in disappointment and you really, really want to gift yourself greater well-being, if you want to get yourself out of that funk, look at life as if the experience was inevitable and the only thing that was wrong was your expectation. Then take ownership of that expectation and understand that you got it wrong this time. And that's okay, right? Now, you may still have to work through sadness and grief and anxiety and all those other experiences. I totally understand. But you've given yourself back the power to change how you feel about that disappointing experience. So there it is, a little bite-sized thrive, a little piece of advice from Auntie Kim about how to deal with lingering, ongoing disappointment about a particular person or situation. Always here for you, love being here and sharing this little bite-sized thrive. If you want to come and chat with me one-on-one, I do private consultations. Go and check out kimforrester.net for more information. I will be back again in the near future with another little piece of advice on how to enhance your well-being from the inside out. Until then, you're precious. Please take good care of yourself and choose positivity and well-being because you deserve it. Bye.